I want to do more lives on Instagram, but sometimes I'm just like, what to do a live about? So, being more intentional about what I am putting out there, the content, what I want to share, is brewing. It's getting there. It's getting there. Today I'm super excited. So one of my favorite things to do is talk about business and help people start businesses and have them focus on their passion project type business and stuff. And so today we are actually having a chat with my homegirl Cece. I'm the other Cece. Hello Rob. And so she'll be joining us in a few minutes, but we're going to be talking about the real behind starting and maintaining a handmade business. And when I say handmade, I mean like your creations. Maybe you cut, maybe you're painting, maybe you're making shirts, whatever comes out of your head and it becomes a product. So that is a handmade business, crafty business, if you will. And so today we're talking about that. I have my business, which is Sincerely Peace. It started off as Hello Fringe, but I changed the name about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I think. And so Sincerely Peace, like my brand is all about promoting and pushing peace as a lifestyle. And, the goal behind it is to, have, things that encourage people and lift them up and, beautiful pieces that, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's my thing. That's my goal, at least. And so I do a lot of different things. I'm an artist, an author. I make jewelry. I write books. I'm an author. Did I say that? Yeah. Okay. And so we have our guest joining us, not guest, but co-host. And so her name is Candace. I love Cece. So I'm about to invite her on. We're going to figure out how to do this. Okay, there we go. View request. Let's see. It says, is she joining? Is she joining? Did it work?
Oh, I'm real close.
It worked.
Can you hear me?
Hello. I can.
I'm real close to this here camera, aren't I? There we go. I guess that's a little better.
It's all good. It's all good. We want to see that
my.
beautiful face.
Hey, girl.
Hi.
Hey.
How are
Good.
you?
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good.
How was your day? What'd you do?
Girl, work. And then drive home in the torrential rain.
Was it so? I was on the phone and it just started like thundering and raining and it got really dark and I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't even focus. So it rained like crazy out there?
Man, in Dallas, it did. By the time I got to Denton, it was fine. But in Dallas,
Okay.
like, that was no joke.
Wow.
It was no joke. But I made it safe, so that's all that matters.
Good. Amen to that. I'm like, whoo. I am definitely glad I don't commute to work anymore.
There you go. Handmade. I got my own business.
Right. Oh my gosh.
My cousin Mitzi. Hey, Mitzi.
Hi. Hey, Mitzi. Hey. We are glad you are here.
Yes,
and we are going to talk. And I feel like I've seen, I don't know, maybe I have just seen people on Instagram doing lives talking, but I was like, I would like to have like a camera that displays like doing crafts or something like that. So I'm still learning how to do all of that stuff.
Both of us.
That's part of the real of handmade business.
The same exact day. That's part of the real deal.
Yes. Be safe out there, Mitzi.
I was about to say the same thing. Be safe out there driving, girl. Yes. But yeah. Hey, friend. Let's get into this conversation. Let's talk about it.
So, real quick, I don't know if everybody knows about us. Candace and I we met almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. I guess so. However long you had the store.
Yep. And so I had a store And she was one of my people that came in and sold her jewelry, had her set up. It
It
was
was
cute. She
cute.
would come in, update it, bring more. It was just a whole thing. And so we became really good friends. And yeah, you want to tell them something about you?
Sure. So I am the owner and designer of Love CC, as said before, and it really did start off as a hobby. And I really thought that's what it was going to be. I was just, shooting the breeze with all my craft stuff, and I was like, let's just see if I can make something, and I did. Next thing you know, I posted it online, and people were like, "How much are the earrings?" And I was in total shock because I was not expecting that. But it just kind of, went from there. So yeah,
That's
it's been like
awesome.
4 or 5 years now. It's been a while. It's been a
Okay.
while. Yeah.
So I think, so when I first moved to Texas, um, the first summer I was a teacher, right? And so I had my break, and then I spent like 2 weeks on the couch recovering from my first year of teaching. And then I went to creating because I was like, I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so every summer I added a new like artistic craft or something. And then I was like, I should probably start selling these things. And so I was posting them, and people would buy t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't realize I was an artist. I was drawing and painting and doing all these things. But let's see, sorry, something was on. And I did this painting for Prince. It was his birthday, maybe like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I posted it online, and this girl, she was like, "You should bring that to the party and sell it." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So that was my first time like selling artwork, and I was like, "I guess I'm an artist."
I
And
guess so.
so, yeah, and
You
then
are for real.
now
Listen, you be on it.
I be.
You are.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. But it's so I guess one of my things is like just navigating what to focus on if I had to focus on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you can see, I do it all.
Yeah. Yes.
And Candace, you do
Yes,
have a
she does.
niche, right?
For y'all that don't know, it all. Okay, homegirl is mad talented for no reason.
Oh, praise God. Look, I'm
Okay.
like, I don't know. So with your jewelry, why did you choose jewelry per se? Like you could have made anything, but why did you choose jewelry?
No, it was legit. I made 2 pair of earrings.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see if I could, because I've always crafted, right? Like I just love to make things.
Okay.
So different canvases, kind of paintings, or like put inspirational quotes in canvases and stuff like that. Yeah, all just kinds of random things. So I've always loved to craft and be artistic and just express myself that way. And it was literally because I had these little wooden pieces that used to come with canvases. And because I was buying so many canvases, like I had a million of these pieces and didn't know what to do with them. And so one day, it was very extremely random. I was just like, I wonder if I can make earrings with them. And literally, that's how it started. Like, that's why I, obviously now, like, I've ventured out a little bit. So I make bracelets, necklaces, earrings, rings. Like, I make a lot of different things. And so, yeah, but honestly, that's how I came about with the earring thing.
Okay.
It was just, I simply wanted to see, like, challenge myself and see if I could. And I did.
That's
And then people were already ready to buy them. And I was like, this is new territory. I make things and give them away, because I love people and I love to make things. And that, that's what I was doing. So for people to be like, hey, those are the bomb, I want to buy them. I was like, okay.
I love it.
That's it. So
That's cool. So like you said you wanted a challenge. Yesterday I was talking about the 4 to 5 C's of why people start businesses. And one of them was because of a challenge. Yep. Like people want to see what they can do. They're not like, so that was a challenge. The other one is creativity.
Right.
So I'm sure that's a mix between
that's a 2 for 2
and challenge. Yes.
Right.
The next one is cash, right? You just want to make money.
Extra change.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And the other one, oh my gosh, created oh my gosh, it's like being the boss, like having your own power. I forgot what the C was, dang. So not having anybody in charge of you. And so like I know for me it was a mix between creativity and not having a boss.
Yeah.
So if I that book is way over there, so I'm not gonna be able nope, it's right here. But find that other C. But yeah, and I was just like, I love to create.
Yeah.
And, control, that's the word, control.
Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
want
For
control.
sure. Yeah.
Yep. And so I just was like, I struggled with listening and, following what people wanted me to do. I was
Right.
like, I don't want no boss. But yeah, so that is the thing. And so, but not having a boss means you really got to work. And
you got to do all the things.
all the things.
All the things by yourself.
Yeah.
Until you get to that next point, right? Until you get to that next point.
Right. Do you want to take a break and share some of your work real quick before we
let me grab a pair or two. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back. Y'all don't go nowhere.
Find a little I'm trying to find my artwork. Everything is
no. Luckily
it's not
too far from me to grab.
I know. If you see this painting, so we got the green one, that's not mine. That one is mine. That one is not mine. That one's not mine. That one's not mine. You go ahead and show yours, and I'm going to go grab some stuff.
Yeah, and I hope, as I show these, that they will show up in, pretty good color. But so these are, they're not too bad. You can kind of see the color in them. These are dark green and gold. Little fun, almost like a tear shape, I guess. Earrings that I've made. The hooks are gold filled, so that's a higher quality hook, more hypoallergenic, if you will. And then, so the ones that I pulled are not all of my, but some of my painted ones, right? And so these are a lot of fun. You won't be able to, I don't know if you can see the color very well or not, but these are a lot of fun. I love to splatter paint. And so these are a purple, and they have gold splatter, teal, and black splatter. Which lighting is better. I need to probably get out my ring light. But
yeah, let's get over here.
Oh, okay, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to splatter paint. So there have been many pieces that I've made that were splattered. And then these are something a little different. These are some black teardrops that are, pretty festive. And I actually wire wrapped the top. So just a little wire wrap accent at the top. And I make these in different colors as well. And then I guess I picked a little good variety. Look at me. And then these ones are as well. But I actually use fabric on these. So these are fabric and wood for the bottom, and then the bead is an onyx. So I like to also add different jewels and gems to my work. And so that's that. And then they're solid color, probably you can see as they turn on the back. But yeah, so those are a couple of my pieces.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all my stuff is like sitting in my car, but I do have a few things I can share. Here are some earrings that I made. So I have this thing called a glow forge, and so I like design it.
Forge. I love it.
Cut it. It's awesome. It's awesome. I do a lot of gift giving with that. Welcome everybody who's joining.
Hey,
hello.
Slay the stage. Hey.
And then Natty, thank you for joining. Yes. And then I'm an artist, so this is one of my original paintings. This is gouache.
Look at her, just painting stuff.
And so I absolutely love painting. And then I have another one. This one was a digital drawing. And so I blew that up.
Yeah.
Hey. And then I'm just an author too. So I have a bazillion books. Yeah, there's probably about 28 books that I have published. What's up, y'all? And so I just create and just put it out there. And
I think that's awesome. That's awesome. You definitely inspired me. I'm just gonna let the people know that's on here. That watch after that you definitely inspire moi because you be doing the things.
Oh,
You be doing it.
you inspire me too. Like, you're the one. I was like, you are doing all these vendor events, and I was like, so cool. And I'm like, okay, but now I'm doing it, and I'm like, so this is another part of the reel. So I'm just like, I'm
Let's get into this. Let's
exhausted.
get into this.
Yes.
Tell them, because
I'm
baby.
like, so one thing is, we're making these products and we got to go sell them. And so we participate in vendor events. And we're in Texas, and Texas is hot.
Ooh.
And if we're doing it outside, we have to have tents, we have to have tables, we got to set up our product. Like, it's a whole, and it's exhausting.
It takes a lot.
But
It takes a lot of energy for sure.
Yeah. So what pop-ups do you do?
So I started off, my stomach just growled a little bit. I don't know if y'all heard that. I was like, oh, wait, I'm a little hungry. So yeah, the main vendor farmer's market, there's the right word I'd like to use, I do, is run by the Four Seasons Farmers Market. And so for a while, y'all, I was working 7 days a week. I do my main hustle Monday through Friday, and then I do the farmers markets Saturday and Sunday. And so for a good stretch of time, there was no sleep for the kid. Like, that was not happening because I was up, doing all the things, getting ready for the weekend. But so yeah, I do farmers markets on Saturdays and or Sundays now. I kind of, pick and choose. So I do that. And then it really just depends. I have friends that have been a great support system. And so if they know of events going on, then they'll invite me or they'll share that information. Or if they're putting on events, then they'll invite me to participate with them. And so, I do that. And then there's some others that, I might see online and sign up for and things like that. So,
Right.
So, yeah.
So part of the reel is the vendor fees. So how are your vendor fees?
Vendor fees. Yeah, no, it really depends on the event. So with Four Seasons, luckily it's only $40 per market. And so that's not bad, but there are other markets and other events, y'all, that may cost you a pretty penny. I just did a Juneteenth event over the weekend, and that was honestly $125 to sign up. So, it was a 5-hour event in the Texas heat.
Yeah.
But and it can be more costly than then, or you might come across some that may be $20, or they might not, maybe because they're starting out, they may not have a fee. But that's something to know as you're looking into, starting your business and wanting to get out there. I think for me, I know farmers markets was the absolute best way to go, because it was just like a small step at a time, right? Like just a small, It was a big deal, but it was a smaller place. Like at that time, the market was small, only like 20 or so vendors. And so, it was just a really great way to get my foot in the door as far as getting out there, putting my products out there.
Awesome. We can take it so many different routes. So like you did markets, but you also were in stores, right?
Yeah. So I was in a store in Fort Worth. That was my first one, which is, so exciting. Ultimate You. Shout out to Charlotte, because she hooked the girl up. And I was just over the moon with the fact that I was in the store. Like, again, it was such a big point in trying to get myself out there and run a business that I was just beyond myself to do that. And then there was this store called Kindred Creatives in Louisville, run by a little special somebody on the live. And that was exciting. Like, that just, that took the cake. At that point I was in 2 stores, so that was fun. But the real is making sure that, you keep your inventory up, and that you're marketing those stores, because as you market those stores, you're also marketing yourself. And that is super important, and letting people know where they can find your product, and letting them know also about other stores in the area. But so staying on top of that was definitely a learning experience.
Yeah.
And then like building displays, like I've never built a
Oh,
display before for real. So, you know, like designing your display, how you want things to look in the store. Um, you know, because it says a lot about you and your business. So, you know, you want to make it as presentable as possible.
I
So,
love
yeah.
that. I love that. It's a lot. Like, so as a, you know, what is it? A creativepreneur, you know, you got to
Yep.
create the things. You got to, you know, package them in a way that people want them.
Right.
Because I know if it's not packaged nicely, I'm
It's a
just gonna
big
be like,
deal.
yeah, it is. And then marketing, maybe you have it online, like your online presence, Instagram.
Right.
Do you have your own website? Like how do you do that?
Me, I have an Etsy, and then I also post my work on social media,
Okay.
so Facebook, Instagram. I have a little TikTok-y, so sometimes, you know, I've been trying to put more stuff on TikTok, and then, you know, trying to still build a website. So, and hopefully move from Etsy to my own website. But
Yeah,
Etsy's a good way to start because it's all there for you, you know?
it is. I know I'm on Etsy, but I struggle with Etsy. I
Yeah.
struggle, but I do have my own website too.
Right.
Because I was just like, for me, because I don't do just like one thing, I do like a bazillion, and I'm like, I'm gonna need you to contact me for this, that, and the other. You know, so
Right.
on my personal website, it has the store. It also has, you know, my information for like, you know, working with me if you want help writing your book or
Mhm.
asking me to come speak at different events. It has that information on there. It has workshops and all of that. So I was like, I do need a dedicated
Like a
space
central hub for
for,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I say, just go to CicelyRenee.com and you can grab everything.
Right.
But it is pricey. So the real with that is, so because it's not Etsy where there's already traffic coming, you have to build your traffic and you have to make sure that people are coming to your site. So you
Right.
have your own standalone store. It's like a store,
Yep.
you know, by yourself, not in a mall. I mean, I guess the World Wide Web is a mall, but it's so busy, you don't know
Right.
what to look for. So then that's the marketing piece and, you know, how to get people to your website rather than just Etsy. You know, people are there and they use SEO and keywords and all of that.
Right.
So I would say have both. So I definitely have both. So I can, you know,
So,
put my hand wherever I can grab folks. Ooh, are we frozen?
oops,
Are you
I
frozen?
did not
Okay.
just put this phone on do not disturb. There's the real.
I was like, are you
How
frozen?
about we get into that? How about we get into that? That's hilarious. Hold on just a
Yes.
second.
Sorry, you're breaking
Let
up a little. Popular. People reaching out. So, who is still watching? Are you guys okay? What questions would you have about starting your own, you know, business, handmade business? Okay, sorry. I was like, if you're listening, put a question in
I
the
was
chat.
about to say the same
Yeah,
thing. Like for those of you that are listening and watching, like if you, especially if you're thinking about starting your own business, you know, if you already have and you're trying to maneuver through that, like tell us your experiences, talk to us, let us know how it's been for you to have your business, and let's chat about it. I love that we are talking about the real about business because last week, and there's a saying that hit me last week, but I've been saying it to myself for the longest time. And it's, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Have you heard
right.
that? Y'all, if
Uh-huh.
I'm having a very transparent moment, I don't always stay ready.
Uh-huh.
I don't always stay ready. And so, and that can affect the way, you know, you prepare for your different shows or markets or events, or prepare you just emotionally for how you're going to go into those things. If you don't feel ready, if you're just running around, you know, like a chicken with your head cut off, because I do, or, you know, you're putting so much pressure on yourself to get things done instead of doing the things you need to do ahead of time in order just to, for it to kind of flow and be ready to get into
Right.
the event
Ooh,
or your business. So
that's so real because so like I get extreme like anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a last minute person. So if I do try to plan ahead, that's when more anxiety comes. And
Same.
so I'm just like, you think I have all this time to make things, and then I'm like, this stresses me out. I don't know what to do. But as soon as I have like 5 hours before the event, I'm like, I got all these ideas, and it comes out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's so weird. But that anxiety will cause me to either force creating, and
Oh,
that never like really
can't
works
stand
out.
right
So the
ever.
fourth
Right.
creativity, and then also like I canceled. I was just like, I'm not gonna be able to go because
Mm-hmm.
it messed me up mentally, and I let them know. I was like, I can't come. I was
Right.
like, this ain't gonna work. I
Yeah.
was
No.
freaking out.
I like make myself uber anxious if I'm not ready. If I
Mhm.
don't feel like I have enough earrings or this or that, then I'm up.
Mhm.
Well, I'm not late anymore, child, because I'm getting old. But like I'm trying to like figure out like what to make, what can I make, what can I make, and then I end up like paralyzing myself because there's so much to
Mhm.
do, so much I want to do, but I can't figure out how to get into it. And
Right.
so like it's almost paralyzing. So then it's so important, and it's a lesson that I'm still learning at this time at 5:23 on Wednesday, June 21st, is do what you need to do ahead of time. Slow, just little things here and there that's going to prepare you for your next event. So you don't
Yeah.
have to freak out and get anxious and all of those things.
Mhm.
So
So I want to. Oh,
no,
sorry.
no, no, please go for it. Yes.
So with that being said, one of the things that stressed me out was that I was creating for people rather than creating because I love it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to step back, and I was like, I don't have to create, for a specific type of people. I am the artist. I create what I create.
Yeah.
And if people like it, then they take it. If they don't, that's okay.
Right.
And so, because there was an event, I was just like, I have to make this for this type of like, and I'm like, that's not how it's. And I know it works, in the corporate world where they're like, okay,
Right.
we're
To a
gonna
certain
pinpoint,
extent.
but yeah, but they have like, a lot more people that can participate, and it's
Sure.
just you. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna create what makes me happy, and if I like it, then I'll maybe put it on a shirt, or I
Right.
may, put it somewhere, print it out for cards.
Yeah.
But I'm working on not creating for specific types of people, but rather just creating what I like to
Something
do.
that
So
you
more
love.
of a passion
Right.
rather than cash. Like I want to make money,
Yes.
or is it creativity? Like
Right.
which one is it?
Right. So I'm going to read this question that Slate
Hmm.
Stage has typed out, and then you can answer it first. What do you do when you feel discouraged as you build your business? That's good,
Oh
right?
yeah,
That's
that's
good.
a good one. So there's a lot. I get just like kind of just like what I was saying. Like I struggle because I'm like, I'm a black artist,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, support black artists.
Right.
But then I was just like, my brain is thinking that people only think black art is if it looks black, like if it looks like them. But I'm like, it's not black art because of what they make. It's black art because of the
The
person
maker.
who's making it, and I'm black. And so I was just like, so I have to get that in my head, because that's, when I start creating, I'm like, I want to create something that a certain group would appreciate. But I'm just like,
Right.
I'm the artist. So I'm like, okay, I am not, the discouragement is just also thinking about like comparing myself to other people and trying to
That part.
mimic what they do. And I'm just like, that is discouraging because I can't jump in their lane. I have to stay in my lane and
Yeah.
stay true to what I want to do. And so, I take it back, and I'm like, I gotta focus on passion and not, cash, right?
Right.
And so I just take a step back, and then I, go get inspiration. Candace and I went on like a creativity
Oh,
tour or
it was
retreat
the
where
best.
we went to go get some inspiration and just ideas, and that was awesome. That was helpful. And then, yeah, yep. What about you?
Um, so for me, and because I put a lot of pressure on myself too, right? Like if I'm being completely honest, I am such a people person and a people pleaser. I put a lot of pressure on myself and my product. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that can get me down if I feel like you said, you compare yourself. and you don't feel like you're doing what other people in your, I guess, area of creativity are
Yeah.
doing, those kind of things. So for me, when I get discouraged, I think of my support system for one. I have an amazing support system who has had my back since day one. They speak so much life into my business. They support. I know you and I were talking about doing the show, the farmers markets and stuff by, kind of by ourselves sometimes. But I do have friends that, will come and help too.
Yeah.
And for no other reason than to support me. And they're out there tooting my horn for me, and trying to help me sell products. So it's helpful to remember just, who I have that supports me and loves me and encourages me. And then also remembering why I'm doing it. So remembering my why, remembering my purpose, the vision I have for the business, and just hoping and praying, because I do a lot of that too, that carries me through, that I don't give up on myself, because hard times are going to come in business. There's going to be times where you feel like things are at a standstill or they're not going the way you envisioned them. I think every business owner goes through that, but then just finding a way to come back and remember your why. And I think that's probably the answer right there as I'm mumbling on, is remember the why you started, why you want to do it. What did you love about it that made, that just ignited that flame in you in the first place, and allow that to kind of pick you up from that place of discouragement. Take a deep breath, maybe take, a few moments to just kind of sit still in that, and then move forward. Yeah.
Most definitely. I love that. I love that. Just being still, stepping back, observing, and then moving forward and all of that.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Remember your purpose, your why.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so what's your why?
Huh?
What's your why?
My why is because love Cece is, it came from a place where I used to create, like I said earlier, different things, and I would gift it to people, none other than the fact because I love them, so it's like, and Cece is my family nickname. And so I'm doing these things and I'm giving these things away because I love you. I love, the fact that I've created this thing and I think it's so cool and so awesome. I think such and such would appreciate it. And so I'm giving that to somebody. And so that's why I do jewelry. I want people to feel like they are loved when they have that bracelet, that earring, whatever the case may be. It helps them to, kind of lifts them up, I will say, makes them feel, some type of joy in their heart to know that, somebody, made that just for them, somebody that loved and cared about them made it just for them. And so that's really why I do it. Because, some of us, we have our favorite pair of earrings. We have our favorite that hold a sentimental value. And so that's, I would love for my jewelry to have that effect on people. Just, I remember, and this makes me feel good. This makes me feel beautiful. This makes me feel worth it, worthy, those types of things. So that's my why. I want to bring a smile to people's faces.
I love it.
Yes, ma'am. What is your why?
So one is I love to create because it is healing and it is encouraging and freeing. So that's one of the reasons why I started creating. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression. And so creating was helping me get back to me. And so, like I said, I had started, that first summer of school, my break, and I was just recovering. And so that was my healing. And so I went on this process of healing and creativity, and I was like, oh my God, I want other people to, feel that healing, that joy, that peace. And so my brand name is called Sincerely Peace, and it's pursuing, the goal is to, inspire a lifestyle of seeking peace and just being at peace with yourself, with God, and just having something that, I don't know. It just, all my work, it's I want people to, I love these earrings because it's just I feel you feel like you're at the beach, and that's a
Yeah.
peaceful feeling, right? And then I love my art because I'm like most of my women are like at peace. They're not like angry or anything like that. They're all like, relax. And so I want, people to know that it is okay to have a peaceful lifestyle. Like if it
For sure.
rubs you the wrong way, you don't have to go that way. You can say no. You can, cancel those, what do you, cancel whatever you had it scheduled, and
Yeah.
it is okay. Like, cause I feel like, cause we're our own selves, right? And we have our own bodies, and no one can live our lives for us. And so if we are jacked up, then we ain't gonna be no good for nobody else. And so like,
Yeah.
that's my goal, is just to promote peace as a
Love
lifestyle.
it. Love
And yeah, that's my why. That's my
Awesome.
why.
So yeah, slay the stage. Just if you get discouraged, take a moment, even if you need to take, just take some time to yourself and remember why you're doing it. Remember what sparked that that first, like inspiration in you to do what you do, and hold on to that, because I feel like people, business can be hard, people can be hard, life be life, and sometimes, but if you can hold on to that why and your purpose and that spark, it'll pull you through. It may take a moment, but it'll pull you through for sure.
Yes, I love this. I am having a great conversation just
This
talking
is awesome.
about it. I have a question. So, I mean, I guess discouraged may not be the same. It seems similar, but my thing is like, what if you don't have inspiration? Like, what do you do with that? Like, and what do you do in the meantime? Like, because I'm like, when I try to force creativity, it does not work. And so I'm like, do you just stay still? Do you just not do anything? What do you do?
Cannot. And I think I've gotten to a place where I cannot and I don't. So there was a time, because I was just so I gotta do it, that again with the anxiety, would try to force myself to make stuff, right? To make the product. That didn't work because it didn't come out right. Whether I was sleepy or whatever, just tired, anxious, I mean, all the things. If I try to create under those circumstances, I'm not going to create. I'm going to create a mess. I'm going to create a mess. And so I love that we did the creative retreat. Because I think it's just an awesome time to, even though we didn't go far away, to get away, get out of our everyday surroundings, explore the city, and pull inspiration from the things that we saw, the things that we ate, the people that we talked to. I think that's really important. And when I'm, in those stages, yes, I even have recently taken time to myself not to create, and I've been okay with that. Sort of okay. Because I feel like in my heart, I feel like I should be creating, but I know like in my spirit is not settled, and I don't want to create out of that, because again, I want people to feel love and all of those, all those things through my pieces. I don't want them to feel my anxiety making these bracelets and things, because that's not the goal. And so if I need to now, I just kind of take a break. And even though I want to get out there and do the things, like there is a larger part of me that's okay with taking a break, taking a breather, and just trying to figure out my next steps instead of trying to do all the steps at one time.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same. Yeah. There was and for me, I go in cycles of creativity. So like 1 week or 2 weeks, I'm focused solely on writing and writing my blog. That I don't draw, I don't do anything, but I'm not like selling my blog. So I was like, what am I supposed to have at the market? But then there'll be days where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have all this creativity, and I just go.
Yeah.
And that's good. And so like I'm like the cycles, and it's okay to cycle through things. Like You know, like businesses have cycles too. They have calendar years. They focus on one thing, you
Right.
know, at this particular time. And so, like, why can't we as small business owners do the same thing?
Right.
And so what do you, how businessy are you? Are you a plan the whole year? Are you a business, you have a business plan? Do you have goals? Are you a businessy person, or are you, you know, a less business person?
The real about that, ladies and gentlemen,
Uh-huh.
is I, in fact, not a businessy person. And that's
Okay.
the real for Love CC. It is definitely something that I have had to learn, something that I'm still learning is the business side. I am much more of the creative. Yay, create.
Yeah.
Let's create, create, create.
Mm.
But the business stuff, baby, that has taken all of the learning to do the
Yeah.
business stuff. And I definitely could do a better job as far as like the planning and this and that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's all a part of that is, you know, that business side, that's the real right there. I
Yeah.
definitely encourage anybody that wants to start a business to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I would encourage people that want to start a business to do some research or talk to people that you know that may have a small business. That way you can
Mm-hmm.
get, you know, different gems from them as far as what it takes to get things started.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's lots of hats that you wear as a business owner, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, definitely do some research as far as that
Yeah.
business side, because we can create. We love to
Yeah.
create and make the things, but then you got to price the things, then you got to market the things, then you got to pay
Mm-hmm.
taxes on the things. There's a lot to consider for sure.
It is. And so we're actually having a Saturday, Sweet Day Saturdays. Is that what it's
Tell them
called?
about it.
On
Yes.
Saturday.
Tell them
And
about
it
it.
is a, like a networking and
Aww.
sip and shop. And
Hey, Miss Monica.
Monica and
Aww.
Kieran, hello, y'all. Thank y'all for joining.
Yes, thank you everyone for
Um,
joining.
yes. And so on the networking on the Eventbrite, I said that Candace is going to be talking about, like, you can go and talk to her about starting a jewelry business. You can
Mm-hmm.
come talk to me about writing books and publishing. And then I said you can talk to Kim about, like, starting your own bakery. And so
Yes.
Kim, we're having our event at Holy Roly Pastry Shop,
Shout out to
which is
Holy.
brand new. It is Holy Roly. Yeah, did I say
You
Holy
did. I
Roly?
just said
Oh,
shout
okay.
out to them. Yep, you said it.
I was just like, I'm just talking and I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. But yeah, and so one of the things we like to do is like support each other. So that's one thing that you got to keep in mind when you have your business. It's not just solely about you, it's about helping other people as
Absolutely.
well. And sharing. And so one of the key words that I keep hearing is gatekeeping.
Mm.
And I'm not a gatekeeper. I try
For
not
what?
to be a gatekeeper, but
Yeah.
I also am like, I wouldn't mind being compensated for my
I think
knowledge.
there's a
I won't
level.
keep it
I
from,
think there's a level for
huh?
sure. So I think
Yeah,
there's levels to that for sure.
most definitely. And I'm like, I'll give you all the resources, all this stuff. And so do with it as you please. But yeah, so like I'm open. Like if you have questions,
Yeah.
definitely reach out to me. But yes, yeah. So I'm excited about Saturdays because I think we're gonna do this
We're
monthly.
gonna
Is that what we're gonna do
Yeah,
monthly?
we're gonna try to do this
And
thing monthly, which would be great in the Texas heat. So at least once a month, we will
yes,
be in some air.
indoors.
But yeah, no, to speak to
Mm-hmm.
your point too, as far as like gatekeeping, and I don't know if I'm just naive or not, but I'm like, oh, you want to sell stuff? Let me tell you about this market, you know, and I will put people on because why not? You know,
Girl.
like, you know, we're all trying to do things that we love and enjoy. Um, and so if you can share just a little bit with somebody else, because I feel like we would want somebody to help us out a little bit. Why not help the next person
Right.
out? You know, and it doesn't take money out of your pocket.
It
Like
does.
you're you. Nobody else can be you. Nobody else can make, you know, your art. Nobody else can make, you know, write your books. Nobody else can make my
Right.
jewelry. Avalon Beauty and Waist Beads. Nobody else can do the jewelry like she does it. You know what I'm saying? Like slay the stage. She be slaying all of the, aerial arts in the DFW area. Nobody can do that like she can. So when you spread love, you get that back, like you don't have to gatekeep. And yes, I think when you do reach a certain level of business or success, there are things that you could be like, yes, I can help you with this. Take it a step further. It does come with a fee, because you're doing, I don't know how to word it, properly.
Or
So at some point, yes, you can, make it a class or, a conference or, we've talked about, putting on a retreat and those things. And, you're putting all your time, your resources, your energy into those things. You deserve to be compensated for those things. But if it's, like, oh, I have a cousin that wants to start making candles. I was like, girl, let me tell you about these markets you can do. Get your business out there. But why not? And why not?
Right. I remember maybe about 3 weeks ago, I was at a vendor fee, and then this girl was looking at my stuff, and she was like, I'm an artist too. And I was like, oh, and so we just started talking, and I was like asking her about her prints because I was like, I needed help too. But I ended up doing all the helping. And I was like, no, do this. Here's a paper. I shared the links where she should go. I gave her the people's names. I was like, you can show up at this market too. And so she went to go, I told her who the person was in charge. And so she went to go talk to her. I was just like, do it. And she was like, thank you so much. I was like,
and you know what? Do this. The real about that is you may come across people that don't want to help. That might come off a little stankish, if you do ask for help. I think, as far as the real on that, there are people out there like that. It's the world we live in, so it's kind of to be expected. But just know, like, not everybody's like that. And just know just the value of building connection. Building connection with other makers, with other small businesses, because Cicely and I have done plenty, a ton of things together. That's my business girl right there, not just business girl, but that's a friend, so that's, we have that connection in both, in both realms. She mentioned Kim earlier. Kim's an awesome friend that, is also, we can, kind of do business together in a sense, but then also have built a connection outside of just the business realm. So the connections that you can make when you are more open and you build relationship, and it could stay strictly business, or it could become, it could be more of a friendship too. But there's definitely value in building connection with other makers.
Yes. So before we wrap up, any other questions? Do you guys have
any questions at all specifically?
Yes. Hello, Natural Roots.
Hey, Natural Roots. How's it going?
What's up, everyone? So we have been. Yes, Keisha. I'm like, look at see.
Make sure I say his name right. I don't want to mispronounce nobody's name, but we appreciate y'all hopping on for sure. Hey.
So, are you guys in business? The ones Natural Roots, NYC.
If you guys are in business, like, speaking of not gatekeeping, shout it out. Let us know what business you got, what y'all do. Share with the
follow each other.
Right?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And so one of the things with the business, like, is this going to be saved? Okay, I'm hoping so. Like,
fingers crossed.
I'm not the best with Instagram, but yeah. And you missed a lot of good stuff because we had an amazing conversation. We don't have to do Wednesday conversations every Wednesday or something. I enjoy talking, as you can tell.
And I'm nervous. I'm always nervous in front of a camera, but I'm doing okay, I think.
You are doing more than okay.
Thank you.
Yes. So if you guys are in the DFW area, we have an event this Saturday, and we'll be hosting more events as well. And we want to do more live videos, so make sure you let people know. People are showing up.
I know.
All the
time. It's a party.
So, do you want to do like a recap of your reels and kind of just like, positive words?
Oh, yes. We've talked what have I mean, I've talked about the real as far as what to do when you get discouraged. Um, and just learning business, like the business side of a creative business or any type of business that you're into. Just making sure that, because as an entrepreneur, you wear multiple hats, just making sure that you either, do your own research or tap into people that that also have a business and kind of get some business help. I know there are some people that, get business mentors. So that's something to look into too. I think for me, the real for my business is, again, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I am working on, is just making sure that, I do things little by little. That way, when an event comes or, maybe like a social media post comes, I'm not like scurrying around to try to get things done, but I've prepared myself. That way I can just do it and let all of the goodness flow. So that's kind of my main reel, is just, preparedness.
Yeah.
In business.
My reel. Oh, sorry. Did I cut you?
No, yes, you did. No, I'm just playing.
My reel is more like I guess like you said, just staying ready, but like mine is just not forcing creativity.
Right.
If I am not in a creative mood, or if I'm trying to cater to a specific group, or not even just a specific group but just people, and I'm just like, this is not what I signed up for. I create for myself, and if you like it, then you buy it. So just trying to make sure I maintain that lifestyle or that way of life, and then making sure I stay in my lane, and not trying to be someone else or trying to mimic exactly what they're doing. Of course, you can get inspiration, especially when you're having a creative block, but making sure you make it your own. Let's see. I started to keep more items just made so I can grow. Yes. Oh, awesome. Yes.
Yeah. That's definitely a way to, make sure you're prepared for sure.
And with that being said, oh yes. So like I had a whole bunch of stuff, and so like one of the things I had to learn was like I don't have to always keep making it if I have a whole bunch of stuff already. And so this vendor market that I had on Saturday, I barely made anything new, and they bought all the stuff that I've had for like months, and I was like, thank you, because those got to go. And so just having a bulk of stuff and just so I'm gonna start doing that too. Yeah,
keep inventory together.
Yes.
Natural Roots, what do you do? Be interested to know what you got.
What you do, Natural Roots?
What you do, what you got. So yeah, if you're in I know she's mentioned it a couple of times, but if you're in the DFW area, come hang out with us on Saturday. We will be there from 2 to 6:30 at Holy Roly Pastry Shop in Irving. The invitation and all the information is on our Instagrams and Facebooks. Do you want to shout out your information so they can find the information for Saturday?
Yeah. So mine is on Instagram too. So I think it's on She Sits at His Feet. So I don't know if okay. And then it is on Eventbrite. Where else? But we can DM you if you are in the DFW. And if you want to do a live next week, because I just bought StreamYard, and I really want to do live conversations with folks about everything.
Right.
I like to talk.
Yeah.
And so
they can find the invite where on your page? Or not the invite, but the information. Okay, so we'll start with my page. If you go to Love CCK, I have the information posted. I will put the link for the Eventbrite in my link tree, which will be in my bio. So then you can go, and it doesn't cost to come, but we would love to, just kind of keep track of who else is going to come hang out with us on Saturday. So yeah, that information is on my page at Love CCK on Instagram, Facebook. Love CCK. And then I will put the link in my bio.
Yeah. I was like, I think I should probably put it in my bio too.
That'd be
Because I'm like,
idea.
I have a whole bunch of links. I'm like, which one is it? Okay. Yeah, that's why I was like, Hello, hello. Oh,
Hey,
Sabrina shared a
Sabrina.
pair of bears. Yes, and so mine is that. So on Facebook, it says she sits at his feet, and then here it says CicelyRenee blog. So yes, and you can just Google Sweet Days Saturdays, Sip and Shop. We'll have champagne. We'll
Ooh,
have
the mimosas.
mimosas, and it's at a pastry shop, and so
Y'all,
you guys are gonna be
the
able to
best
eat.
cinnamon rolls. Different flavor of cinnamon rolls.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be
I
so
love
good.
it.
I know. I'm
I
excited.
know my friend, she sent me a message. So I'm a book doula, and she's one of my clients. But yeah, so she texted me a photo of a cinnamon roll. She said, "Guess where I'm at?" And I was like, "Oh, that was
Oh,
my
that's
shoes." And so
awesome.
I love being able to promote other people and people
100%.
go and support them. And I was like, "Oh, I love that." I thought that was
100%.
a cool thing.
And speaking of supporting other people, y'all go follow Holy Roly Pastry Shop on Instagram and
Yes.
Facebook as well. And she's on TikTok too. Holy Roly Pastry
Yes.
Shop. So
And that's ROLLIE. So holy, HOLY, and then
HOLY.
roll.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
HOLY.
ROLLIE. Yep. Yep. So we'll post again. I'm gonna post the event again today.
Yeah.
And probably tomorrow and the next day.
Same and same.
Yes. And yeah, please make sure you're following both of us here.
For sure.
Let people know that we are out here, these amazing makers, these creatives, and
yes.
just living our dream. Thank you.
That's
Appreciate it, Sabrina. All right. Last words?
I really feel like I get excited when people tell me that they want to start a business. I'm like, please do.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes.
It fills me with so much joy when people come to me and just express that they want to start something, because I don't know. Like I kind of feel like if I can do it, this might sound bad, but if I can do it, anybody can do it, because just, the kind of way I set up, and I'm so shy, but I've gotten myself out there. Right. And so, I just put forth that effort, that time, that love, that energy, and I just feel like there's room. So if there's something that you want to do, if there's a business that you want to start, no matter how scary it may seem at first, just do it. And if you need some support, come holla at your girls, because we got you.
Yeah. Do it scared.
Do it scared.
I do everything scared.
Please do it scared.
I do everything.
Just do it.
Scared.
The world needs what you got.
Mm-hmm.
The world needs what you
got. All right.
What are your last words, Miss Cicely?
I guess it's do it scared. No, follow your passion.
Yeah.
Like, don't force anything that does not align with who you are, your values, what you desire. Because I have signed up for things like Mary Kay or Primerical or, just all these things, and it just was not my passion. And I was like, I'm not a salesperson. And so I don't feel like my art, I'm being salesy. And so I share it. And exactly. Yeah. It's a part of who I am. And so if you start a business, that is who you are based off of your character, what you believe in, then you're going to be good. You're going to be good.
Because it's natural for you. It just flows because it's so, a part of who you are.
Right. Yeah.
Miss Monica, you're amazing. You may be an introvert.
Yes.
Monica, you are amazing.
Yes, we went to go see you the other day. Did your son
and you were not at the store? No. We did last week, right?
Yeah, I think. Yep, last Sunday.
Yep.
And I meant to reach out. I meant to text you and be like, we're about to see you. My brain. I have ADHD, so.
That's the other real about. That's the other real about being in business, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why I be struggling with timelines and anxiety. Like,
all the things.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I hope y'all cut the replay. Sorry.
Please do. Yeah, make sure you save it. sis.
Yes, I'm gonna work on that right now. As soon as we get off.
Save it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
well, we appreciate y'all joining
thank you
us.
so much. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, really. Like, yeah. Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah.
y'all for hanging out with us. And maybe we'll do this again next week. And
Yes.
if there's a topic that y'all like for us to discuss too, like send us a DM.
Yes.
Or comment and let us.
I already wrote 2 topics already.
Oh, she's
so
on it already.
Get ready.
So we
Get
in this
ready.
thing, y'all. We are in this thing. So,
all right.
love to y'all.
Love
Much
y'all.
love. All right.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Bye, y'all.